Hello you fantastic people and welcome back to Borderlands 3 to yet another exciting video. Hope you guys are keen. Today I have killed Tyreen. Well, actually it wasn't just today, it took many days. But we have killed Tyreen 250 times on Mayhem 4 True Vault Hunter mode to test the drop rates of just her dedicated drops, to see how many legendary she drops, to test the new anointed drop rates that changed as of the event from like 2-3 weeks ago that they made permanent, just to see what's happened with the drop rates. If you guys are new to the channel, I have killed every boss in the game minimum of 50 times, but I made a video on each of the main bosses to see their drop rates, their dedicated drop rates from when Mayhem 4 came out. So now that the new drop rates have changed, I thought I'd test it out and see how it is. And of course we've got to step it up a level. I can't just do 50 again, so I thought we'd go 250 with the new drop rates so we can test those. And damn, did it take a while. I actually started on PS4 and then I was like, nah, this is taking too long. I brought the game on PC solely to farm this faster. It was just taking way too long. Load times take forever on PS4, so I got it on PC and just, the game is so much faster. Plus, it's so pretty on this new PC. So, here are the stats after like hours and hours and hours of farming on Mayhem 4, and I've written down all the weapons, all the anointeds, all the dedicated drops after 250 kills on Mayhem 4 True Vault Hunter mode. I assume by this stage in the game everybody knows where Tyreen is and all that sort of stuff, but just for like the 0.05% of people that are new to the game, Tyreen is of course the last boss in the game, can be found in Pandora at Destroyer's Rift. Now as for my strat for killing Tyreen, I actually got it down and saved so much time for this video compared to my old 50 kills video from like probably 2-3 months ago by this stage. I won't run through the entire thing because that takes way too long, but I did just recently go through my full build and my strat for killing all the bosses. If you guys want to check out my flak crit hit build, I made a whole video on it. It explains every single thing and all my thought processes behind that. If you guys want to check out that video, it'll be linked in the end title card screen thing, or just linked in the description. You guys can check it out there if you'd like. But I'll have a few clips showing on screen so you guys can check those out. Essentially, of course, I'm using my favorite trusty bang stick because it's just the fastest method of killing bosses in this game that I have seen to date. That of course kills all the bosses. There are some strats that kill individual bosses faster, but the bang stick all around is the GOAT. But anyway, let's get into those beautiful, beautiful stats. After killing a Tyreen 250 times, Mayhem 4 True Vault Hunter mode, we got 837 legendary items, which is low-key disgusting. I obviously didn't pick all of those up because that would just take an extra week on top of whatever it already took me to do. Out of those 837 legendary items, 341 of those were anointed, which after some quick maths, that works out to be 41% of the legendaries being anointed, which is absolutely disgustingly high. I'm so happy with the increase of the anointed drop rates from the last update like 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. For comparison, my video that I made, what, 2-3 months ago, killing Tyreen 50 times on Mayhem 4 True Vault Hunter mode as well, only dropped 14% anointed legendary items. So that's how much it's actually gone up in anointed drop rates. Now, of course, everybody's favorite weapon from Tyreen is her dedicated drop, the King's or Queen's Calls. Those pistols are so damn good, particularly with flak. Of course, they're the absolutely GOAT weapon of killing any boss in the game. Originally when it came out, it did cop a nerf, so it's not that overpowered anymore, but it is definitely still an amazing boss killing weapon, and would recommend you guys checking it out if you guys haven't already. Now, after the 250 runs, the King's and Queen's Calls are super rare items to drop. They're a dedicated drop that share a loot pool with 3 other legendary items, including the SMG that I'm not going to pronounce, but I'm going to show it on screen for you guys, and the auto idle artifact is also one of our dedicated drops. So the way dedicated drops work is the bosses have a set drop rate for dedicated drops all the time, no matter what Mayhem level you're on, no matter what luck artifacts you have, what guardian ranks you have, it doesn't matter, it'll always be exactly the same. The only thing that is different by being on Mayhem 4, the anointed drop rate of those weapons will be increased, but the drop rate of the weapons themselves do not change depending on any luck artifacts or anything like that. So after 250 runs, we got 19 Kings and Queens Calls combined. Out of those 19 drops though, 16 of those were anointed. So the anointed drop rates of the dedicated drops are so high on top of the already high anointed drop rates for legendary items, which is really helpful because the guns are still a rare drop, which you want them to be because they're a great weapon. You want to, like, you know, make it difficult to get. But the anointed drop rates do make it a lot easier to get those god rolls once you finally get the gun to drop. As for the individual elemental types, because I know some are definitely rarer than others and some are a lot more sought after. For example, the King's Calls are both fire and shock elemental types. The fire one is slightly more common. I got 4 of those out of the 19 that we got. 3 of those were anointed though, so that's a 75% drop rate, which is hella damn good. The shock one is definitely rarer. I think I've only ever seen 3 in the game ever, like in the entire time I've played it. Out of the 250 runs though, we did manage to get 2 of those, and both of those were anointed, which is great. As for the Queen's Call, there are 3 different elemental types: the corrosive, radiation, and cryo. Cryo is by far the most common King or Queen's Call elemental drop to drop whatsoever, which is super annoying in my opinion because I personally don't like cryo that much. But if you guys are keen on cryo and have, I don't know, some kind of cryo build, then get on that because it's way easier to get those ones. For example, we got 6 of those out of the 19. 5 of those were anointed as well, so again, a great anointed drop rate. The radiation one is the next one that has 4 drops out of the 19. 3 of those were anointed, so again, another 75% anointed drop rate. And corrosive is final with 3 drops to make the total of 19, and all 3 of those were anointed as well. Now, as for the other dedicated drops, the SMG that is trying to get my video demonetized, they dropped 30 times out of the 250 runs, which is pretty damn good as well. It's actually, what, an extra 11 times than the King or Queen's calls dropped. 23 of those were anointed, which turns out to be a 77% anointed drop rate, which is, again, super damn high for the dedicated drops. I personally don't use that SMG very much. It was a great SMG in Borderlands 2, but if you guys use it, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys, like what kind of build you guys use it for, because I'd love to try it out, because I really do miss using that gun in Borderlands 2. And finally, the third dedicated drop for Tyreen is the Auto Idle Artifact. Again, I personally don't use it, but let me know what kind of builds you guys use it for. That one dropped 23 times out of the 250 runs, which is a super low drop rate considering it's an artifact. I would have thought there'd be slightly more. To be fair, it's not super low because it's still more than the King and Queen's call, but again, I just would have expected a little bit more. For example, for those interested, out of the 250 runs, artifacts overall, not just the auto idles, all the artifacts counted up was 104 artifact drops. So what does that work out to? About 20%-ish drop rate of the auto idles compared to the other artifacts, which, by the way, that is a lot of artifacts out of the 250 runs. So if you guys are looking for just world drop artifacts, Tyreen, I remember from doing my series originally, is a great place to get legendary artifacts. And finally, just for those interested, I thought I'd count up all the stats because, you know, why not? I've killed him 250 times. If you guys are looking for legendary class mods, the stats for Tyreen after 250 runs is 75 legendary class mods, which is a fair amount. After some quick math, that works out to be a 30% drop rate for legendary class mods, which is actually a pretty decent source. Originally, I wasn't a fan of Tyreen just because of the immunity stages and she can go for a fly around and waste a whole bunch of time. But if you guys can kill Tyreen in the absolute madman speed that my flak build can currently kill her in, it's actually a really decent source for just all legendary items, but particularly artifacts and class mods. But yeah, that is all I have for my 250 kills of Tyreen on True Vault Hunter mode Mayhem 4. I hope you guys enjoyed or found this video helpful at all. If you did, feel free to smash subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it. It takes a long time to make these videos for you guys, so I hope you guys did enjoy them. If you guys want to hit the bell next to my subscribe button, YouTube will notify you whenever I post a video. I'm making a whole bunch of Borderlands 3 content and have been doing so for, apparently the game has been out for 6 months now. I honestly was shook when I found that out the other day, but I'm loving that there's new events and new stuff and new content all the time for Borderlands, which is great. And yeah, if you guys want to leave a like, share the video, it'll help my channel grow even more. I'd really appreciate that also. And yeah, hope you guys have a fantastic day. I shall see you guys in the next video. Till then, adios.